We've covered a lot of ground in this series. Ancient maps that shouldn't exist, sunken continents, underwater structures on every ocean floor, an Egyptian priest telling Solon the world reset by fire and water. Now I want to show you something that ties it all together, because every culture on Earth is retelling the same story. And they couldn't have talked to each other. According to evolutionary geologist Robert Schoch, not a creationist, not a fringe theorist, there are at least 500 flood myths worldwide. The most widespread of all myths, found on every inhabited continent. 500. Every continent, every ocean, every culture. Mesopotamia, the Epic of Gilgamesh, written down around 2100 BC, tells of God warning Utnapishtim of a coming flood. He builds a massive boat, saves his family, saves the animals, lands on a mountain, sends out birds to find dry land. Sound familiar? India, the god Vishnu, incarnated as a fish, warns the first man Manu of a catastrophic flood. He's told to build a boat, gather several sages and seeds of all life. As the water rises, the fish tow his boat to safety atop the Himalayas. Same story, different god, different name, different mountain. Greece, Deucalion and his wife Pyrrha were warned of a coming flood and placed in a large wooden chest. For 9 days and 9 nights, water covered nearly the entire earth. Same story. Hawaii, an ark builder named Nu'u, same warning, same flood, same survival. Norse mythology, Bergelmir, same story, same event. The Inca of South America, the Inuit of North America, the Hopi, the Tai-Kadai people of Southeast Asia, China, the Igorot of the Philippines, Aboriginal Australians, Tanzania, Mexico. The details repeat across cultures that have zero contact with each other. Boats, divine warnings, mountain landings, survivors, birds sent out to find dry land. This is where it gets heavy. Anthropologists will tell you the myth is often a faded memory of a real event. Details may be added, lost, or changed in the retelling. But the kernel of truth remains. When two separate cultures share the same myth, their ancestors either experienced the same event or descended from a common source that experienced it. We have 500 civilizations. Not 2, 500. And here's what the mainstream scholars say about all this. They say these stories spread through trade routes, cultural diffusion. One story passed from one civilization to the next until everybody had a version of it. Here's the problem with that. Aboriginal Australians carry flood stories. Their Dreamtime tradition defines floods reshaping sacred geography, passed down for tens of thousands of years. Australia was cut off from the rest of the world. There were no trade routes to Aboriginal Australia. Nobody sailed here and told them the Mesopotamian flood story. They remembered it themselves. So here's where we are. Ancient maps showing coastlines that existed before recorded history. 3 sunken continents confirmed by science. Underwater structures on every ocean floor being ignored. An Egyptian priest explaining the cycle of fire and water that resets civilization. And 500 cultures on every continent somehow remember the same catastrophic flood. This isn't a collection of separate mysteries. This is one mystery, one event, remembered differently by everyone who survived it. The maps are fragments of what came before. The underwater structures are what's left of who was there. The flood myths are what the survivors told their children. And the Egyptian priest told Solon it happens again. That's where we're going next. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you aware yet?